Mr. Speaker, I'm asking this question because the director of CID has told us here the way they investigated, and they were investigating based on complaint from the deputy IG. And that complaint from the deputy IG led them to go into great details of a so-called cybercrime, Mr. Speaker. I'm wondering whether if an ordinary Kenyan went to complain about a cybercrime, anything would be done. Me, I have complained, I have been defrauded of money. Did this young man defraud anybody of anything? Or was he just an ordinary blogger? I have complained when I've been defrauded of cybercrime and the police take no action. They don't take them seriously, Mr. Speaker. Are there laws which are meant for others and not for others? Mr. Speaker, as politicians, are we treated differently? These bloggers, this boy is just a blogger. He was defaming somebody. For us, we are defamed every day, Mr. Speaker. We are defamed on a daily basis. And there is not treated as a crime. And if somebody thinks that is making me famous, it is making me more famous by raising those issues. So I don't mind, Mr. Speaker. But when does he want to tell us that the whole process of going to Homa Bay, doing the so-called thorough investigations, that the complainant himself, who is the second in command of police, was completely innocent? He was just standing by and watching. He didn't know what was happening. That is just an innocent complainant like any other Kenyan. Mr. Speaker, I don't believe that the deputy IG was an innocent complainant like any other. And his role must be investigated in this matter. The small man at the police station, in Central Police Station, that is a very small person, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Lelegwe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Vice Chairperson of IPOA, Anne Mwangi, just informed the House that the CCTV footage or CCTV itself at the Central Police Station was interfered with. Mr. Speaker, my question is to the IG. What measures will you take to preserve and review the CCTV footage, cell records, duty rosters, and visitors' logs from the time Mr. Ojwang was in custody? Lastly, to the IG, whether there is an existing or planned national database to publicly track and report deaths in police custody. Thank you.
Senator Manzo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like, just on the same note, the digital logs entered during the last 5 days of the CCTV at Central Police Station, names of officers with digital credentials, rights of those that can delete, the CCTV footage, because it cannot be done by anyone. And then names of officers that entered their credentials to delete records on the day of the death, and then names of officers that entered their credentials or delete records or soon after the transfer of the deceased to Bagadi Hospital. Mr. Speaker, that information should be available from that platform. And how sure are they that he wasn't under threats?
Honorable Senators, may the Senator from Murkomen be heard.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know what happened about the communication to spouse? Was it not under duress, Mr. Speaker? And Mr. Speaker, on that particular issue, how sure is IPOA or any investigator that Albert did not arrive at Central Police Station already injured, and then he's booked in, and then he worsens and passes away, and without investigating the DCI officers, you go on to condemn the police officers, yet this person may have come there already injured. Was it established that by any medical person before he's booked in his status, or was it just by looking, with the eyes? And then finally, to the Honorable Murkomen, are you aware that there is no policy in your ministry which has gone through this Parliament so that it becomes a policy? Because without bringing your policies to Parliament, they are null and void. And very finally, on you, are you aware the so-called police standing orders? They fall under regulations and they are expired, and you have not bothered as a lawyer to bring them here so that we may renew them. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Seki.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to direct my question to the IG and the CS. Honorable Speaker, somebody had just asked about the fairness of the officers who have been given interdiction. But there is one officer who was adversely mentioned in this issue. And for fairness of civil servant, not because somebody is running an office and is senior in that position, I still and strongly believe that Langat, DIG, must be interdicted to await the IPOA verdict, Honorable Speaker. And this question must be brought, that fairness must be brought by the IG and the CS, rather than escaping because somebody is holding a big office and yet is just equal like any other officer who have been interdicted. The same law, the same regulation, the same public act is the one that works to all the civil servants. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Betty Montet.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine is simple, and I'm going to direct it to the DCI. From the little I know, because I've never been on the wrong side of the law, is that if a suspect is brought in by the DCI, they are booked in the OB by the DCI, and they are the only officers who can come and remove that person. My question is, who is the DCI officer who booked Albert at Central Police Station? Who is the officer at Central Police Station who had the keys to the cells? Who did the officer give the keys to so that Albert can be harmed? And who is the investigating officer in the CID department? Thank you.
Senator Wakili Sigei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I, first of all, want to join the rest of my colleagues in sending my deepest condolence to the family of the late Ojwang. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, questions have been asked and answers have been given. The importance of this session, Mr. Speaker, is underscored by the fact that we did suspend our normal business for purposes of this particular inquiry. I am, however, of the very critical concern that it should not be lost in us that this is a preliminary process. The investigation reports so far received from among the officers, whether from the office of the DCI or the IPOA, is that preliminary. It's true that we have got various parties. We have got those who are being investigated, we've got those who are being suspected, and we still expect so much to come, to the extent that I would hope even as we make the questions and statements we are making, we are not doing that for the sake of doing it, because this calls for much more than just the questions we are asking the IG or IPOA to give us responses to. My question, which is of a greater concern, is to the IPOA, that is the institution which will carry a heavy load in this particular investigation. I am, of course, not very happy that the chairperson of that institution found it very important to be engaged in some other engagements other than this, which is very important today. We have not been explained to what is that which is very important that took him away from being in this house today. I tend to believe that the team that is presently here will take the investigations and the questions that have been asked as critical and as important as it is, notwithstanding the absence of the chairperson. They have asked for a period of 10 days within which they would conduct investigations. How I wish that could be less than the 10 days they are asking, and the commitment hasn't come from their end, so that even as Kenyans complain, even as Kenyans raise concern about the death of Ojwang, and the rest of us have suspended our business, we needed less than the period they are asking in order to get to the bottom of this investigation and to tell Kenyans the truth. This is not the time, Mr. Speaker, to make very popular statements. It might sell today, but are we dealing with it in posterity? That should be the question we should ask ourselves, even as we interrogate and as we ask the answers from the entities who are present this afternoon. Thank you.
Senator Professor Margaret Kamara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I also didn't get an opportunity yesterday, so I would like to join colleagues in passing my deepest condolences to the family of Ojwang. Mr. Speaker, losing a child is never easy and was still an only child. It was very painful to all of us. Mr. Speaker, I only have one question to IPOA. Now that the autopsy results have come out and suicide has been ruled out, IPOA has mentioned to us that they have been taking statements since morning. What is the breaking news since morning? Do we know any leads? Because the country is listening to us. We have kept the minister, we have kept everybody here, but there are people who have been doing investigations. Have people been arrested? Have they been arrested? What is the current situation? Because, Mr. Speaker, the public have always been accusing us that when a senior person dies, the security system moves very fast. We need to know as of now, between yesterday when suicide was put aside, was ruled out, what exactly is going on as we are in this House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator for Nandi County.
Finally, Chair, Bangetuji Taran. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the following questions. One to the IG and DCI. CCTV, we need to do the CCTV of Central Police Station. They are said has been tampered with. We need accountability from 9 p.m. Saturday, 7th June 2025 to 8 June 2025, 4 a.m. Sunday. And yet in the records of OB, your current book, it says Albert was booked at 3:45 a.m., 2:35 a.m., and he was dead by 3:45, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, to the CS, you flew to Nandi a few weeks ago when Father Albert Alois Cheruiyot Bates was killed. You told the family you know the killers. People have been ill in Angata Baragoi. People have been killed, Father Maina. Mr. Speaker, when you read Article 245 and 240, the Ministry of Interior suffers from leadership crisis. And it is good the nation has seen the incompetence of CS Murkomen on this matter. And if anybody has to resign, we must start with the Cabinet Minister Murkomen, Mr. Speaker, because that is where the buck stops with, Mr. Speaker. And I want to tell you, Murkomen we have today is different. Abraham Lincoln said, if you want to know the true test of a man, give him power and money. If all of us can withstand adversity, Mr. Speaker, and the CS must tell this nation, Because I heard he has a wrong assertion that he's barely in office 6 months. Does he need 10,000 years to make change in this country, Mr. Speaker? Finally, he has not presented any policy on police brutality as per Article 245 and 240, Mr. Speaker. I think it is a high time that the president must do a reshuffle, take the cabinet minister of interior back to sports, because he like lettering Muchezo in the business that we are discussing about this country, Mr. Speaker. And we will not sit and allow this to happen, Mr. Speaker. Everybody must be held to accountable, Mr. Speaker, and there is no law. Mr. Speaker, is PS, and I want to find out from him, is PS Omolo, when Ongondawere was killed, he used to give blow-by-blow information. What is happening to Albert Ojwang? What is happening to Father Alois Cheruiyot Beth? What is happening to Angata Baragoi who was killed, Mr. Speaker? He must be held accountable. If he doesn't want to be held accountable, let him take a walk, Mr. Speaker. So my questions are to the CS and the question to IG and DCI, Mr. Speaker, so that we, and being a guest of most of these cells, I have slept in them, Mr. Speaker. And I don't fear to sleep in it in future. Because I know how to maneuver myself. The only danger is I might be killed. But what I want to find out from these police cells that we're having, is it have CCTV cameras in most of these, Mr. Speaker? Are they introducing CCTV cameras to all police cells across the country? Or is there a slow modus operandi that shows that you can be arrested in Nandi, the way I was driven for 4 hours, and that day I never got even a soda.
Senator Hamida.
Asante Bwana Spika. Waswahili wanasema mkuki kwa nguruwe, kwa mwanadamu uchungu. Watoto sio Albert peke yake, lakini watoto wengine pia wa watu wamefariki. Huu ni mwezi wa akili, wanaita mental health. Nashindwa kama wazazi wa Albert wamezungumziwa. Wazazi wa Albert, kama serikali imeweza kuwafikia kweli, kuwasemesha na kujua kuwapatia imani na watoto wao. Ya kwanza ni kuuliza kwa IPOA, mumeweza kuchukua statement kutoka kwa IG Langat? Yeye ameshaandikisha statement, na mpaka sasa mbona hatujapata kitu chochote kile kimeshikanisha na mtu yoyote? Na Mheshimiwa Were kweli alifariki, lakini na siku mbili tulipata wanaitwa nani, washukiwa wakuu, lakini leo mpaka saizi ya Albert bado hajapatikana. Nashindwa. Na ya pili ni kuwa Albert alipewa nafasi ya kukutana na wakili wake, hata kuzungumziwa. Manake yeye alikuwa na nafasi ya kupewa nafasi na wakili, Amin, awe na wakili wake. Alipewa nafasi ya kukutana na mtu yoyote. Albert ameshikwa siku moja, na hiyo siku kila kitu kikaendelea. Akagongwa hiyo siku na akafa hiyo siku, na imethibitishwa kuwa kutoka kwa IPOA kuwa Albert hakujinyonga, Albert hakujiua, Albert aliuliwa. Hii damu ya Albert na hii machozi ya wazazi wa Albert itadhulumu kila mtu yule alipatikana na hiyo mambo. Na leo tusifiche, leo tuweke mambo paruwanja kwa mtoto yule amefariki. Leo ni Albert wa mtu mwingine na kesho ni wenyu. Kwa hivyo tunaomba haya mambo yawe wazi. Kwa hivyo tunataka kujua statement ya IG Langat imeandikwa ama haijaandikwa, na kwa nini imechukua nafasi hii na time hii yote mpaka sasa hatujapewa kitu chochote, yani uwazi kuwa ameshikwa ama ameambiwa chochote. Tunaomba kingine tena ni kuwa wazazi wa Albert wafikiwe kwa leo, wazungumziwe na waambiwe kinaga ubaga ni nini. Babake Albert analia, nasema huyo mtoto ni mkono mmoja tu, ni jicho moja tu. Kwa hivyo leo mutamcompensate nini wazazi wa Albert? Langu ni hilo tu.
Senator Mundigi.
Asante Bwana Spika. Swali langu naomba kujibiwa. Wakati Albert aliletwa kutoka kwa ile county na kuletwa Nairobi kwa station, na tunajua kila station iko na askari na kila dakika kidogo kama lisali moja kuna kuja watu wengine wanakuwa pale, kwa hiyo station haivungangwi. Wale askari walikuwa wanalinda hiyo station walikuwa wapi? Ya pili, katika Kenya ING wakati ulikuja hapa tulikupitisha na tukajua utarainisha upande wa ulinzi. Kila sub county ulikuta watu wa guidance and counseling wangapi? Kwa sababu tunajua askari wengine wako na pressure, ni watu kama sisi, wengine ni watu wa kunywa pombe, na wale watu wanaenda kushika kule masinani ni watu ambaye waro chavu. Tunataka kujua ulikuta watu wa guidance and counseling wangapi, na pia umeongezea wangapi? Ya mwisho, katika Kenya tuko na ING moja na deputy ING. Kwa sababu najua speaker aulisangu swali, hiyo swali nataka seneti nijibu. Wakati watu walikuwa kuitwa hapa wakuja hapa, ule mwenyewe deputy ING aliwaswa wapi ndio atuelezee ni nini ilikuwa inaendelea, kwa sababu yende ikawa sio ING avai kujibu ile maswali kwa hapa yote.
Senator Richard Onyonka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to say, number one, this is a sad event. The young man was not transported from Homa Bay on any other day. The family said he was picked on the 6th, and on the 7th, he died. There's a letter that I want the IG to look at that you give as a press conference where you said that the gentleman was actually picked and he did not go to Central Police directly. He was kept at the DCI offices. The letter exists. You can refer to it. The DCI denied that the gentleman was not taken to their offices. My honest observation is this. Our country has got issues. Right now, we can try and sanitize where we are. These events they are sequential. If many of you in this house can remember, there was a lady called Njeri, a blogger. She was picked up. If people had not made noise about her, she would most probably be dead. Gentlemen who did the BBC documentary were arrested. Up to now, we don't know whether their case is in court or not. Then this young man dies. And of course, many of you have talked about Ongondowere's case, which is now a good case of the government getting involved. We have lost so many Gen Z. You remember the dam where these kids were being dumped? Yeah, I hear many people talk about Yala. Forget about that. Let's bring an inquest, an inquiry to this house to investigate whether it is from Yala all the way up to every single person who was killed. These children have never been compensated. These children have never been talked to. Their families are treated like rubbish, and we are very comfortable. I know after this thing is held here today, everybody's going to go home, and it's going to be business as usual. I wish you all the best. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Morango.
Asante sana, Mr. Speaker. Unajua kutangulia chanoni kuzindi tonge. Kwa hivyo walionitangulia wameuliza maswali mengi muhimu. Kwa hivyo sina mengi ya kuuliza. Mr. Speaker, swali langu litaenda kwa IPOA. Niwaulize katika uchunguzi wao mahali wamefikisha hadi sasa, mshukiwa Albert Ojwang mmepata kama alikuwa peke yake katika ile seli aliwekwa ama walikuwa na wenzake? Hilo ndilo swali langu la kwanza. Na la pili ni kwamba katika kanuni za kushughulikia wafungwa ambayo tumepewa leo na IG, linasema kwamba mshukiwa anafaa kuwa na uhakiki wa kiafya kwamba ako katika afya nzuri kabla hajawekwa katika seli. Ningependa kuuliza IG kama kuna stakabadhi zozote ambazo zinaonyesha kwamba vipimo vilifanywa na Albert kuonekana alikuwa sawa kabla ya kuingizwa katika seli. Swali hilo lingine, IG na ameomba msamaha kwa sababu alipotosha nchi na kwa kusema kwamba Albert alinijigonga kichwa katika ukuta. Ni kama kwamba omba hakuna ukuta, aliupata na rombi. Swali langu ni kama IG alipotoshwa na kundanganywa ndio akatoa taarifa, na wale maafisa ambao walimpatia hiyo taarifa ndio wataenda mbele ya IPOA, Tungetaka kujua wameokokea kanisa gani kwamba akienda kwa IPOA atasema ukweli. Asante sana Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kamau.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to join my colleagues in conveying my sincere message of condolences to the family of the late Ojwang. Honorable Speaker, I also want to know from the National Police Service Commission which reforms are they prepared to put in place to restore the confidence to Kenyans that police stations or police cells can be the centers of reform rather than sites of terror. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Mandago.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, from the onset, let me say that indeed it was a very, very sad incident to lose a life in a police station. Honorable Speaker, I have only about 2 questions to the IG. On the matter of the CCTV, Honorable Speaker, we would like to know where is the control center of that CCTV. Is it at the Central Police Station? Is it at Vigilance House? Is it at the Regional Police Commander's office? Where is the control of the CCTV to the extent that it was switched off before that incident? Honorable Speaker, finally, let me also say that as a Senate and as a House, Honorable Speaker, I don't think in this session we were inviting the team here so that we can gather evidence, pass a judgment, and sentence those who seem or we think they are accused. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to say this. There have been calls of resignations for the DIG or stepping aside, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, when it is being said by senators who have also been once arrested, and since they were arrested, Honorable Speaker, and they were asked not to contest, they would say, we are innocent until we are proven guilty. Honorable Speaker, how then do we expect the DIG, whose the investigation are still ongoing, he has not been taken to a court of law, and all of a sudden we have a chorus that, Honorable Speaker, they should resign. Honorable Speaker, I also want to ask the IG whether the investigations and IPOA are also being extended, especially to those political groupings, Honorable Speaker, who have been saying, you are playing with fire. There will be Arab Springs. Honorable Speaker, what makes us think that they are not behind this process to actualize the Arab Spring they are perceiving and trying to conceive in their minds, Honorable Speaker? There is need to widen the investigation so that probably those opportunists who would want to use such incidences, Honorable Speaker, to pursue a political agenda, they must also be cut to size, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, finally, let me say that it is not also proper, Honorable Speaker, when we use the floor of the House, Honorable Speaker, to also make sweeping accusations because of the privileges we have as a House on the officers, even on the officers or the team that has appeared here, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we...
Senator Chute.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to refer you to our Constitution, Article 26, 1 and 2. 1 says very clearly, every person has the right to life. 2 says that the life of a person begins at conception. Article 29, every person has the right to freedom and security of the person, which includes the right not to be, on D, subject to torture in any manner, whether physical or psychological. Honorable Speaker, last week we lost 4 people in Loyangalani. 2 of them are between 19 and 20, and 2 others are between 35 and 75. A police officer, OCS, was injured in that fracas. OCS Marua is in Nairobi West Hospital, currently hospitalized with a gunshot wound on his 2 legs. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I really condole the friends and family of Albert Ojwang. Honorable Speaker, I have a very good question. This is a very simple question. Safaricom, how are they involved in this matter of identifying people? When you are even in a toilet, a police officer will get to you. Can we ask Safaricom to come before this house and tell us what is going on? Number 2, this is a question to DCI. There is of course, long before apprehending suspect, they normally have a request for that person to appear before a police officer. Why do you go all the way to Homa Bay to arrest an individual for just a minor case? Why don't you ask him to come and report to the nearest police station? Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Karungo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And just to feel a bit safe, I think the Sergeant at Arms should be close to me, owing to the fact the gentleman behind me ordered my arrest a few months ago. Mr. Speaker, the question is not what Ojwang did. The question is, why did they kill Ojwang? Mr. Speaker, we have told that he was brought to Nairobi because the crime was committed in Nairobi. Is social media Nairobi, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, why was Ojwang grilled at the comfort of the DIG office at Vigilance House rather than Kiambu Road DCI headquarters where they do all these kind of investigations? We were told here by the IG himself he was taken to Vigilance House. Mr. Speaker, who ordered the arrest? Because I think that one has not been put clearly here, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and just to advise the Senator of Garissa, before he lectures again, it took the death of the firstborn of Pharaoh for Pharaoh to let the Israelites go. It has taken the death of Ojwang for us to confide together and say we have to fight this to the end. He's a martyr, Mr. Speaker. And so we must say as a Senate, no one else should die. Mr. Speaker, no one else. And if anybody dies at the hands of the police or anybody else, Mr. Speaker, don't bury them, Mr. Speaker. The family should not bury them. We should be going to every police station, Mr. Speaker, to tell them that you killed this man, we need justice. Even Ojwang should not be buried, Mr. Speaker. He shouldn't be buried until we get justice, Mr. Speaker. My question to CS Murkomen: who is killing us? Who is killing Kenyans? Who is killing the youth? If you do not have that answer, Bona CS, because 4 years ago on the floor of this house, you said, let us not sacrifice Kenya. We are not going to sacrifice Kenya, but we must sacrifice someone who is in line from the DCI, IG, the DIG, even the CS. So propose to us who should step down on this issue. At least justice to be done and also to be seen to be done, Mr. Speaker. And as I rest my case, the officers who arrested Mr. Ojwang, Mr. Speaker, all the way from Homa Bay, it seems they were an okay officer. They were fine. They were giving him the phone, talk to your family, talk to your friend. They even a clip that is online. So it seems those officers were doing their work. We need to find out, after he arrived in Nairobi, Mr. Speaker, who did what.
Senator Kisang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to associate myself fully with the statements done by Senator for Garissa. Honorable Speaker, those of us from North Drift, we have suffered for so long, and I wish the media could have helped us and highlighted the way we are doing this, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have three questions. Question number one to the DCI. How is Chief Inspector Talam a main suspect, as you have alleged, and you have told us Talam was not in the police station during this particular period when Kajwang was brought to Central Police Station? Second, Honorable Speaker, I want to find out from the IG. I don't know if there is harmony in the senior rank of National Police Service, from the IG all the way, because I'm suspecting they could have used this opportunity that was a complaint raised by DIG Langat to settle some scores, because we know in the next 1 or 2 years there's going to be succession in the National Police Service. Third, Honorable Speaker, is to CS Murkomen. You have heard from my colleagues here that cybercrime is not really a very serious crime. There is an opportunity for you to have a policy where those who are suspected to have done cybercrime to be invited to go to police stations instead of being looked for. Because I expected the DCI to have used the same resources they did and went to Homa Bay to look for those who killed Father Lois. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Essie Okenyuri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First, I wish to say that the issue of Ojwang is a very emotive issue because, Mr. Speaker, we have spoken about every other thing, but no one is speaking about the young lady wife who's been left behind, the young child. Cabinet Secretary CS Murkomen, I would wish that out of empathy we commit to assisting the young lady and child who's been left behind. Mr. Speaker, I also wish to find out an explanation on the time difference, because on an ordinary day when I leave Kisii for Nairobi, it's less than 4 hours, I'll be in Nairobi. I would wish to have an explanation from the IG on the time difference between the time Ojwang was picked and his arrival at the Central Police Station. To the DCI, what criteria did you use to conclude that the OCS is the prime suspect? Because even for the members of the public who viewed the body at the city mortuary, the body does not actually appear fresh, meaning there was quite some time. It's either allegedly the officers at the Central Police were under duress to admit a half-dead person, because the time duration by arrival at Central Police and the time Ojwang was taken to Mbagathi, it was less than 1 hour Ojwang was declared dead, Mr. Speaker. So I do not wish to ask further questions, Mr. Speaker, but the death of young people like Ojwang, young people like Duke Nyabaro in Kisii who was found hanging and nothing really happened after that, I hope we are not just going to be emotional and this gathers dust, Mr. Speaker. We need to find why Ojwang, a young man from a peasant family, had to undergo this when they come to the city to try and make a living for themselves, Mr. Speaker. May his soul rest in eternal peace, and so sorry for the family and the people of Homa Bay. Thank you.
Senator Mariam.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first of all, we are only listening to one side of the story, Mr. Speaker. So I urge the committee first to listen to the Albert family and to hear more from them, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my question is about cybercrime. Mr. Speaker, cybercrime in Kenya is increasing. So how the DCI, why is it so important for this one to be so crucial up to someone, a young man, lost his life, Mr. Speaker? Does it mean the person who is issued by Albert is holding a big office? That's why he lost his life, Mr. Speaker. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, IPOA listed 5 members of DCI who arrested Albert from Homa Bay, Mr. Speaker. But when it comes to the first prime suspect, why is it not them? Because when the Albert was admitted to central police stations, the OCPD refused to admit because of his health sector, because they said, we cannot admit him until maybe you have to take him to the hospital, Mr. Speaker. Then does it mean that 5 members of police of CIDs for DCI must be the first suspect to be interdicted, Mr. Speaker? Secondly, Mr. Speaker, when IG interdicted the police, Mr. Speaker, why are they not arrested and not put in jail so that the investigation will go on? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mbugua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Very quick clarification. First, from the IG, I would want to know the name of the officer and the designation of the officer who found the late Albert Ojwang in the state he was in the cell for him to be taken to the hospital. And secondly, still to the IG, I would want to tell this House the cell number and the holding capacity of the cell the late Albert Ojwang was in. And finally, I would want you to assure this House and the country at large that junior officers who be involved who be called to be as witnesses in this matter will not be discriminated, and they will be safe. Thank you, Speaker.
Senator Karen Nyamu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I know the IG of Police has apologized today for the initial statement, but that initial statement, Mr. Speaker, is tantamount to a cover-up. And we are curious to know on whose behalf was he doing that cover-up. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, when it is a VIP who is subject to investigations, it takes a very short time to have people charged in court. How many police officers were on duty in Central Police that night? Mr. Speaker, I have been held in Central Police cell myself. And so I know at night there's not so many police on duty. How come we don't have all of them taking plea? Where haven't they been charged to date? Because you cannot tell, such a crime cannot be committed in the ignorance of anyone in that cell. Everyone what do you call it? Everyone is involved one way or another. Another thing, this complacency by the police is giving this government a very bad name. We have a tag on this government as a blood-based government. How many people have been charged with the death of the multiple Gen Zs who have died under this administration? It is not the work of the government to charge. It is the work of the police. Are you also involved in sabotaging our government? We want to know. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Asige, I'll give you your minute that you lost when you are doing your asking question.
Speaker, for acknowledging that I had lost a minute. The clerk's table, for some reason, has given every other senator 3 minutes, as you had instructed, but myself, when I stood, I only got 2 minutes, and that is on record, and I'm thankful for the extra minute. Speaker, what I was trying to say as I was concluding is that the IG spoke about a primary report having been the reason why he said the cause of death was suicide by Albert Ojwang. And I wanted to understand who was the person who gave him that primary report, because that might at least shed some light on whether that person, that officer who gave him the false report, is involved in the cover-up and obstructing of justice. And secondly, I wanted to know if this particular investigation is hinged upon one tweet, one post by the complainant. Where is this post? Because none of us have seen it. Can the DCI table that post so that we can analyze its veracity and its authenticity and make sure that it's not AI generated or tampered with in any other way. Thank you.
Now, honorable senators, I will now allow the witnesses led by the seers to respond to the many questions that you've raised. However, before I allow the seers to take to the stand, Senator Karungo Wathangwa, while asking a question, indicated that the IG had said that the young man was interrogated at Vigilant House. I have asked the clerk at the table to confirm from the Hansard whether that is true, and he has indicated to me that that is not true. You may now proceed, CS.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me start by thanking my colleagues, the senators, for really raising very weighty issues that I have, as I already said, some we have been able to note, some we will get it from the Hansard, and those which are concerning policy issues, Mr. Speaker, will do the proper follow-up. I also would like to say on the floor of this House that considering the number of cases that IPOA is being requested to investigate, Mr. Speaker, from a policy perspective, it's important as a country that we give IPOA more support in terms of resources and ability to hire more investigators so that these cases are heard and resolved expeditiously, because people are asking this question, Mr. Speaker, how come the one for Honorable Were was handled within a week or so, on a shorter time, and how come this one does